Washington smash and grab burglaries targeting high-end retailers across the country, with thieves routinely making off with thousands of dollars in stolen merchandise and causing extensive damage. For more on that, I want to bring in our senior law enforcement analyst, Charles Ramsey. Chief, thanks so much for being with us. We appreciate it. What can local law enforcement do in the face? I mean, we can show some of the video if we have it available. In the face of these smash and grab robberies, they come in so quickly. There's usually a group of them. They move through the store pretty fast, and they're out the door within seconds, and with thousands of dollars of merchandise. What can be done about it?
You know, a few years ago in Philadelphia here, we had something very similar take place. We called them flash mobs, where we had groups of young people that would go into a store, steal, and then run away. And believe it or not, many of the kids that we arrested had no previous criminal record at all. Now, they were organizing these things on social media. So one thing departments can do is pay attention to social media, because that's how they organize and get together to decide where they're going to go. And I would also send a warning to parents, because as I mentioned, most of the kids we arrested had no previous record. So pay attention to what your children are doing on social media. I have no idea, you know, what they're thinking when they do these kinds of things, but it looked like it was pretty organized when I saw the footage in San Francisco, I believe it was, where they actually hit one of those stores. That's very organized, but, you know, again, we've seen these things before, and they are very hard to guard against.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is there anything retailers can do to prevent these kinds of burglaries? I've noticed here in Washington, there are some retailers who are limiting the number of people who can come in the stores.
Well, that's part of what they do now, especially with the holiday shopping season. You'll see security there and only let so many people in the store at one time. But when you've got these big chains, you know, the Nordstrom or Macy's and stores like that, that's difficult to do. And again, you mentioned it, they hit so fast, they're in and out, that even when you call 911, the odds of police getting there in time is really not that high. But what police need to do is pay particular attention, especially to those kinds of stores. Some of the high-end stores, but also some of the more frequently used stores, like the Macy's and places like that, because that was the place where they targeted mostly in Philly.
And why do you think we're seeing these smash and grabs happen right now? What is going on?
I have no idea. I mean, we've had an uptick in crime just in general. But, you know, and I don't want to, you know, point fingers at anybody, but I do know that there are some cities where prosecutors have pretty much said they're not going to prosecute shoplifting or thefts and things of that nature. Now, I don't know if that's given people any incentive to be more brazen with what they're doing, because these things are very serious and they need to be prosecuted once they're captured. You know, I believe a couple of them were caught. They'll be debriefed, and I think police will get more information and then share that information so other cities know what's going on and prepare for it, because we're going into the heavy shopping season right now. And so this is really a problem.
All right, you're absolutely right about that. Charles Ramsey, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving to you. And we're following other news tonight. A NASA spacecraft just embarked on a 10-month journey that just might save humanity. That's right, from a hypothetical killer asteroid. At least that's the mission. CNN's Krista Fisher has more on the groundbreaking mission.
3, 2, 1. And liftoff of the Falcon 9 and DART. The launch of NASA's first ever planetary defense mission. Instead of carrying satellites, telescopes, or people, this SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is launching a spacecraft to test a technology that someday could save the world.
It may be the way to save planet Earth if there's ever an inbound big asteroid that could really challenge our existence as a planet.
It's what we call a global killer.
Even NASA Administrator Bill Nelson agrees it sounds like a scene out of the movie Armageddon.
The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
But instead of destroying a killer asteroid with a bomb like Bruce Willis, NASA's DART mission, short for the Double Asteroid Redirection Test, is using something called kinetic deflection. That's a scientific way of saying that this DART spacecraft is on a kamikaze mission to smash into an asteroid and try to push it off course.
If it's successful, then if we had a real inbound we could do that with it and it would miss us.
It'll take the DART spacecraft 10 months to reach its target, the Didymos asteroid, and its moonlet, which is about the size of the Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. It's so far away that NASA says it will not create a dangerous debris field in low Earth orbit like last week's test of a Russian anti-satellite weapon.
The DART mission is creating an explosion and a debris field way out, millions of miles of space, where it is not harming anything.
Now, this asteroid is not a threat to Earth, nor is any other asteroid that we know of, though it's likely only a matter of time. But just in case, NASA did invite Bruce Willis to this launch. Kristen Fisher, CNN, Washington.
All right, coming up next, we'll get back to the breaking news. Guilty verdicts for all three defendants in the trial for the murder of jogger